Hello there, Lunar Squadron, and welcome back to the channel. We just got an exciting and massive news update for Star Wars Outlaws, as it was just announced that the official story trailer for this game will be coming early next week, and we're going to sit down and tell you everything you need to know and break it all down for you. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, we would love to have you as always, and the way to do that is just go down below this video, hit that little subscribe button, the bell notification right on next to it. It will notify you every single time that Andreas and I upload. Now that out of the way, Andreas, you ready to talk about some pretty exciting and surprising news?
Oh yeah, let's do this, guys. This week has been such a hype week for Star Wars. First off, yesterday we get the new Tales of the Empire trailer, which obviously is important because we saw General Grievous, so like that started off my week in a great way for Star Wars. And then today we get this news that there's a new story trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, and it's dropping very, very soon. Nick, I couldn't be more excited right now.
Yeah, me too. It really has been such a great week for Star Wars, and it's nice to just get one of these every once in a while because sometimes it feels few and far between. But to jump right into what you guys are all here for, that being the news about the Outlaws trailer, this all comes from this tweet from Ubisoft themselves where they say, watch the world premiere of the Star Wars Outlaws Story trailer. Join us at 9 a.m. Pacific or 6 p.m. CET. This is on Tuesday, April 9th, so this is next Tuesday. We also got this brand new poster alongside it. It features some familiar assets. We've seen this version of Kay and Nix, but we got some additional characters featured in this poster, which is incredibly exciting. We get to see Jalen, we see ND5, we see Jabba down there, a Stormtrooper, some Pikes. Really is a great poster. I love it. It's nice to see just some new characters for Outlaws. Just so much exciting stuff going on here.
Yeah, and I really love their choice to go with a Star Wars poster like this because we always do see posters like this for Star Wars movies, and I love that period of speculation before a Star Wars film where we start breaking down these posters and try to speculate on how important are these characters to the narrative. So, you know, why not start a speculation discussion here on one of these characters? I want to point out the character all the way to the left and maybe talk about how important this guy is. We don't know his name, but he actually briefly appears in that cinematic world reveal trailer, and he's the guy that is on Canto Bight, and I'm really wondering how important this guy is to the story. I, for one, want to know how Kay is involved in Canto Bight because I love that whole seedy underbelly gambling side of the universe, and want to know how this guy is pulling Kay into that corner of the galaxy.
Yeah, that really is a great question. You know, when we first saw him in that trailer, I thought that was just Jalen, but it appears it is a completely different person, and I would not be surprised if this is one of the main antagonists of this game. He's clearly important. He showed up in that trailer, and now he is on this poster. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, Andreas, is probably the biggest question that we all have, and that being, will we get a release date for Outlaws at this trailer? Because we don't have it yet. And what does this story trailer dropping tell us about a potential release date? Like, how close could we possibly be to this game?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And just yesterday, we were talking about this with the reveal of Ubisoft Forward, and we thought maybe Ubisoft Forward would be a great place to announce a release date, and perhaps even the May date that was mentioned in the financial report. We thought that that may be a good time to release a release date, but now that we've got this story trailer on the calendar, I'm wondering if we could even see a release date at the end of this story trailer, because if you recall back to two of Ubisoft's previous releases, first off, I want to talk about Frontiers of Pandora. Frontiers of Pandora had a release date at the end of its story trailer, but of course that game had a release date for quite some time before then. I believe it had the release date dating back as far as the world premiere trailer for that game, but also Assassin's Creed Mirage. By the time we got a story trailer for that game, we also had a release date. So I'm seeing a pattern here where Ubisoft published games tend to have the release dates at the end of their story trailers, so I would not be surprised at all if we got a release date for Star Wars Outlaws by the end of this story trailer, and that would be so hype because it would give us a frame of reference of what to expect at Ubi Forward and a frame of reference of what to expect in the general final stage marketing leading up to the release of this title, which would be so cool.
Yeah, I think it's fair to at least expect a more toned in release window for this game. Like now we just know that it's 2024, but I wouldn't be surprised if we at least got like summer 24, fall 24, something like that, or the release date. Now, I just want to go over a couple data points before we finish up here, just based off of the last two Ubisoft releases, of course, like you mentioned, that being Frontiers of Pandora and Assassin's Creed Mirage. Now, when it comes to the story trailers for these, the Avatar Frontiers of Pandora story trailer came out on September 14th. The release date for that game ended up being December 7th, so there was an 84-day gap between the story trailer and the release date. And for Assassin's Creed Mirage, the story trailer dropped at Ubisoft Forward on June 12th, and that game was released on October 5th, which was 115 days later. So it looks like for the last two Ubisoft games, there's about a 3 to 4 month window between the story trailer dropping and, of course, the game being released. So that would fit right in that window we've been talking about and we've been hearing for Outlaws. So we're looking, that July, August potentially, but it could come sooner because it does feel like things are starting to ramp up pretty quickly for this game with the announcement of Ubisoft Forward again yesterday, and then now this. Like, it does feel like things are starting to happen. And the other thing is, it looks like the average story trailer length for those two games came in right around that 2.5 minute mark. So I would expect something very similar here for Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, and talking about those 2.5 minutes, Nick, what do you want to see in those 2.5 minutes personally? And then maybe we can turn that question in the comments after.
Yeah, for me, I kind of mentioned this in our last video. I just would like to see more about the planets and more about these syndicates, just so we can start breaking these things down and have those series come back on the channel. It's a very selfish one, but I would just like to learn more about these planets and syndicates that we're going to be so heavily involved in.
Yeah, for me, I think I wanted to see more gameplay in the Ubisoft Forward event. That's like really what I was thinking of. I wasn't even thinking of a story trailer at this point because I thought that we already had a pretty good feel of the story that this game is trying to tell based on the gameplay reveal that we had and based on the world premiere trailer. So for me, if I'm thinking about what I want to see here, I mean, if I think back to what we already have, the world premiere is a bit of a pre-rendered cinematic thing, and so I want to see the quality of the in-game cutscenes for this game and just more data points to confirm the quality of this game, because the gameplay demonstration was nothing short of incredibly impressive, and I want to see if this game maintains that momentum across another 2.5 minutes of stuff from this game. So I want to see in-game cutscenes, I want to see in-game references to the story for this game, and I want them to fill out this universe that they're creating by showing off different locations. Nick, just like you said, I want to see things like Tatooine, things like Canto Bight that have only been shown in a frame here or a frame there. I want them to really flesh out things like, how is she getting involved with the Hutts and the Pikes? Because we know those are two factions you do not cross over in the Star Wars galaxy. There are serious implications for doing that. So I want to see how exactly she got herself into this mess and just fill out more color of what we can expect in the varied environments in this world.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's so much exciting potential. Honestly, probably the best part of this is just new assets for video, so we don't have to keep reusing the same footage over and over again, because I'm sure you're all as sick of it as we are. So we're just excited for that. But guys, let us know down below in the comments what you are most excited for to see in the story trailer next week for Star Wars Outlaws. We're getting new footage for this game. This is incredibly exciting. Do you think we will get the official release date? And if we do, what do you think that release date is going to be? Let us know down below. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for us for this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we will see you all next time.